Hello, this is JR playing Oxygen Not Included. This is actually my first stream on this particular channel. Normally been on my JR Oxygen, but I'm going to put all streaming on JR Oxygen Live, this channel. And for today, we are going to be going back in time just a little bit. I was thinking of going to the start. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do some highlights for my JR Oxygen channel. So let's just maybe get that going now. Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. Today I'm going to be starting off from where I fully insulated this very hot asteroid. And from this point on is where I had three dupes die. I tried to go for the cardboard achievement, quickly had to give that up. Planning to have a little bit more success with what I've learned. Before I do, let's just take a reminder of where I was for myself and for you guys. First of all, insulation was the big project, so let's just do a quick inspection, because I can't remember if I actually had it correct or there was something that I had to fix. See, this area is a little bit warm. We got insulation. Looks like it is pretty good, so that's one thing. Let's have a look at who we have at this point. So we have 7 dupes. I'm probably going to stay with the 7 for a little bit. We've got Chef here. Looks like morale's not too high. But stress is not terrible. I'm going to give Chef the grilling skills. So we've got someone on construction. We got someone to cook. Someone to move stuff around. We've got someone to work on the engineering skills. Miner. I think Miner died like twice. I reprinted a Miner. Rancher. Okay, I didn't do ranching earlier enough. Speaking of the carnivore achievement, let's up that when we have scientist. Okay, so that's where we are with the dupes. Well, let's just have a look and remind myself of where I am with research. Okay, we've got the ability to do ranching. We've got hydrogen, fire pools, obviously insulation, and automation. And I think right at this point, I'm building a gas storage for hydrogen. Do I have a hydrogen? Yeah, I do have a hydrogen generator. It's automated. Let's just take note whether we've got automation up here to collect the hydrogen. Okay, and basic latrine. Let's just check the rooms. And now it's time to make a plan. All right, so let's see here. Now that I've reminded myself of where we are, let's see. I know I want to go down this direction to safely get through this area. This time with a vacuum, unlike what I did last time. So I'm hoping that's going to go, and I'm going to go in this direction because I remember that the teleporter, in fact, that's teleportation equipment is there. But the Pacus is my main thing. I'm just curious. Rancher. You've got a little bit of time before we can do some ranching. I'm just curious whether that might be the focus. I'm going to take my time to figure out what I want to do. I want to do some sort of research, I'm sure. Let's do smart storage. Okay, so we got something on that. This is going to solve our hydrogen situation. All right, the question is, are we ready to go out and break into the very hot asteroid? Or is there some other priority? I think we are at the point where we are ready. So that being the case, let me make a little tea here. Bring in some liquid. That jumped right at this location. So first thing I'm going to research is smart storage. And we are going to make a tea of water here. This is where I got into a problem last time. I was cheap and just did a little stairway. But no one's allowed out until a full tea. Actually, hold on. Maybe don't even fill that in. We can do that later. Start to clear out there. Water is on the way. 43,000 calories. So I don't think we need to worry about that. Got carbon dioxide that we've automated, so that's being taken care of. Area just a little bit more. Yeah, apparently we have not started mush fry. Might as well start that. Let's we got some of this mush bar on the ground. Do we have the ability to do a fridge? No, but we'll that might actually be a little bit more useful first. Let's switch over to refrigerator. And maybe even... So we want to have a spot for water and spot for a fridge. I'm thinking water I want to have close to here. I might even move the electric grill. Store water here, close to where it's going to be needed here. Electric grill could be on the other side. Or we could have water somewhere else. Let's just consider our options. I want it to be close. Or I could put it down here, up here. To the side. Let's do this. We don't necessarily need to use this. Now I think I'm collecting my water from over here. That's not going to last very long. Speaking of which, that water's looking low, so let's carefully get in here. Have that fall down, but actually wouldn't mind having this out of the way. Take this water up like that, maybe. Taking a little bit of power. That. So we're getting some water flowing, filling in this area. I am concerned about running out of water right here, so we are going to build a pump up there. Filled in, we can knock that over. This out. Cut that actually. So we've got our tea water. Let's go back to smart research. And I think building a spot for food storage is going to be the next priority. This is pretty similar to what I had done last time. This area. And a pitcher pump here. It's going to be needed eventually. Also makes it so the dupes can get across. May not even need to pump in some carbon dioxide. We'll see. Take a minute to allow some harvesting from where the pips plant a little bit of meal wood all around the base. Calories right there. Here, okay, so we've got that covered. While I'm working on this, let's just double check that this is set up and starting around. Okay, though this might cause a kind of confusion in the line. So what I'm going to do, create that there, and eventually we can cut this out. Now, this is where I want to carefully go through and make sure we can get across without issue. There's a number of things to look out for. One is we just want to make sure we go through the T. We got that checked off. The other thing is I don't want to open up a bubble, for instance here, or also down there. So let's be very careful about that. But if we go across like this. Also wondering, would it cost too much to make this taller? Because I think the last time I went through, it was 2 tiles high. And I did that though. Okay, let's consider that as an option. That would mean, let's see how much. We've got lots of igneous rock, so we'll use that. I don't want to do this then. And this. I let this go. Think we'd be okay. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 37,000 calories. Just curious. Chef on there. They've got light access. We've got our fridge. We'll repair on that. Okay. Okay, so our second pump is now running. Just going to reroute this that way. We're going to have a fridge built for storage of food. We're going to get some carbon dioxide in here. And we're going to start the process of getting out here into a vacuum area. And as long as we stay in a vacuum, we'll hopefully not take any damage. Being very careful not to go into any carbon dioxide bubbles or oxygen bubbles, such as up here. Okay, so the vacuum has started. The tubes can actually reach. There, so we put a ladder in place. Busy an electric grill. Okay, I'm wondering if I had realized that we're actually connecting. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. Because we dug that out, we've now separated that. Otherwise, this extreme heat will be going towards here. I kind of feel like I maybe should have insulated around there, but you know what? Let's just do this for now. Not Pip. Is there gonna be any risk of that friggin' Pip? Let's see why. The fact they're trying to drown themselves. See some polluted oxygen. That's hopefully going to be replaced. We don't have the ability to clean. I'm almost thinking for this, we're just going to wait rather than try to build. Speed things up, because I think this part's going to be fairly Okay. If I were to dig this out, that would be a big problem. Right now, we maintain a vacuum. Be careful around this point, though. I think we're going to be fine. This is really weird. This Pip is constantly trying to take a bath. I think what's happening is they're stuck in a pattern where they only want to go in this direction, but they're noticing they're drowning, they're coming out, and poor Pip. On this way. Doubt this is having a little effect on stress. I'm just curious if I should build something for morale while this is going on. A nature reserve is going to take, I don't know how I do that. Actually, it doesn't have to be terribly big. I just need 4 plants. Do an awkward kind of cutoff. Or a great hall, or both. Yeah, I think we need to do that, just for the stress benefits. Yes, we got 4 plants here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one option. Got 3 there. Cut off. I don't. Maybe right there. We'll make this as small as we can so we can focus on getting this project done. Start to block off other things, and then maybe that'll be enough for now. Can always change that in the future. Airflow purposes, we'll do airflow tiles. Research. Lay mesh tile. I wonder if we could get mesh tiles done. Use that instead. And we'll throw a park sign. Maybe right there in between those three. So as I'm making progress, I'm noticing stress go up. That's probably because I'm foreseeing the dupes go through here. So we're going to make a nice nature reserve for the dupes to be able to go through instead. Go to up morale, because morale-wise, things are not terribly great. I'm not ready for another dupe. Let's see what we have here. Explore. Oh yeah, we definitely need to up morale. So we won't put that there. That there. Realize we didn't. That we can make some mesh tiling. Okay, what should I do next? Liquid reservoir. Radiant, even liquid tuning. Destruction of our nature reserve going on. That way. Okay, so that gives us a nature reserve. I'm just curious. We to think about the Great Hall. Or we continue on this way first. I don't want to push through until we're done insulated and we've taken out all the hot material. Oasisse, taking that out. Let's get a Great Hall. We save room for machinery, possibly. Actually, no. Let's make the Great Hall in the front. So, I wonder if we want to just move. That, because the rock crusher's not going to be used a whole lot. We could put that over there. There's a couple different places that could go instead. Actually, no. Let's do that. Let's do that. In case. Take that out. Take that out. Might as well get rid of that too. Put everything in here. Make sure that we don't take any power that's connected to anything where it's important. Be opened. Anything else help? Decided to, unlike last time, take this out. We can remove the rock crusher. Rock crusher's not being used a lot. And what will be used a lot more will be a great hall. So we put a great hall right here. I think last time I kind of put the great hall in the back. Progress there. Water getting low. Put that in like that. We can take these two out. We put in, no, let's do automate lights. There's other priorities. Let's just make the Great Hall and then just leave it. For planting. Question is, do I, I'll wait for, oh, never did. Okay, that's important, I think. And since that is nearly out, maybe we'll connect. In fact, we could just do that, couldn't we? So, check that this is something we don't care about. Disable auto repair. Disable auto repair. So now we've got a great hall. We're going to start filling this with water since this pitcher pump is nearly going to be done. Starting to dig out this area, making sure all this hot material falls underneath. And we can start to insulate. So we'll have this area protected from the heat eventually and all this hot stuff out of the way. That pip still. What are you doing there, Pepcat? Let's have a look at skills. So we have electrical engineer now. And we can do applied scientist. Just curious. I don't think there's a whole lot of value. In fact, if, we have excess hydrogen. Let's not worry. Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. Okay, it is taking a while to build this, but it's going to be worth it. Water flowing in here, making a progress, insulating. Taking a little bit of time to do this, but it will be worth it. We'll get teleportation, we'll get access to resources down here. Just need to consider how to approach that building. So I need to be careful about this oxygen bubble. We want to get into this zone. I think last time I approached from this side, and just considering, do I maybe go down? Being very, very careful about this, though. This would mean more insulation needs to be built. Would have to have water run in to go this way. Did this. Do that type of thing. Oh. Yeah, okay, we'll have to be careful how we approach that. The other thing we have to be careful is not to actually go in here until we're actually in, because there's oxygen there. Take this out. I'll make this maybe a width of 2. Insulation right there. So what I've opted to do is put 2 tiles wide with insulation on either side, being very careful to approach or around that oxygen bubble so we don't go through that. And being careful not to actually go in here until we're fully insulated. It's a bit odd. We only have 3 chairs lit up. You know, from this point on, there's lots of igneous rock. So, problem is, we're having to carry that from further away. I think I'm going to switch to sandstone. Just curious whether some of this... Maybe from this point on, sandstone. Ladder built. Oh, this rock, that's not what I had wanted. Though the only thing is I buried a lot of this sandstone. We'll have some sandstone here. We'll have sandstone here. Blocks full on, but I think I'm going to consider a new do. Courier, give you Work towards mechatronics for you. We've got a builder, chef, courier, engineer, miner. Either another digger. Actually, yeah, probably. Because the dupe that I send over here will want to have good digging skills. We're getting close enough to that teleportation. I think it makes sense. The plan for the miner. Your good digging skills. So now that we're approaching the teleportation equipment, bringing in Digger, a dupe that can concentrate on digging, probably either send them or Miner. I haven't decided which. Every time I send Miner over to this world, they tend to die. But we're not through just yet, though. Also switching my building material to sandstone. Just because we're further away from a lot of the igneous rock currently exists. Temporarily crack this open for the purpose of getting a little bit of sandstone in case it's needed. There's also this guy. It's going to be a little bit before we can... is there a way to prop him out without... Well, you know what? He might go out at night. There's no way I'm gonna make. He's gonna hide again. Start cooking just a little bit. Do that before we run out of food. Oh, I see. This is a risk. Be careful here not to fall into the trap of releasing oxygen to what is currently a vacuum area. Another interesting thing I could have tried is if I want to get it across quicker, I could have just maintained a vacuum, put a water area here. The only thing is, dupes will always have to get wet on 2 location. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth the time that this is taking. $12,000. Just wondering if I should get another dupe and send 2 dupes, a builder and a miner over here. Start to set up over there. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll need to make more food, though. You... Carpenter, so you're mostly into construction, athletic supply, handy. Bringing in yet another dupe. We're gonna have to start to up our food production. But having the idea of sending this and digger over to this asteroid in time. Keep access to some of the sandstone when we go in here. We're not going to do that just yet, but soon. Just don't want to waste or lose access to all sandstone. We actually need that for construction. Not pip. Let's not trap the pip in there too if we can avoid it. So the pip must have finally made its way through, braved the water. Sure, we'll give you construction, builder, demolition. We don't have the ability to do anything. You know what? Let's leave them alone for now. Careful about how we either trap or not trap in this guy. Stay away. Something's gonna happen. Actually, you know what? Let's make the opening more towards the front, so the dupes don't have to run as far. I think we are now ready. Just Let's get that pip. Okay, somebody. It's just going to be really annoying, I think. Over here, let's take some of this sandstone. We can actually access. Struggling to keep this pip out of this zone. Come on, somebody get in here. Build. Let's do the same thing over there. We still have this guy. I wonder if we could do something about that easily. Like, kind of trapping him in. Oh, of course. Again, somebody. So he should go back to this location. Let's do this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, actually take the ag at least. Relocate that up here. Ask for a little bit of food. 3. Copy that. 3. Let's have a look at our water. Water supply getting low, so get another one we can access, so let's do that. That ready to go. But maybe not fully connected. That out. Do I notice that we don't have enough cots? Okay, add in another one. We've got 9, so we actually need another one. Though I am going to be going to the other asteroid soon. Let's do that for now. Oh, I guess technically smart to do that. It's right there. So opening or building a pump down here, having that ready before that runs out, and just realized I forgot to have a cot for everyone. Eventually we'll have 2 of these dupes leave anyways, but still, until then. And I think we are ready. I just need to put in that. We've got that 2 different critters out of here. Oh, hold on. Maybe make this priority, otherwise this could become annoying. I think it's time to make our move in here. Going to require some deconstruction. Now we are going through here, hopefully for a very short period of time, while trying to insulate. Actually, you know what? I might dig a little bit just for the material. Sandstone construction. Pip, please, Pip, stay away. Okay. And I don't know if I've got this. This might be the end. Let's put in some of these down there just to end off with. It is really quiet today, so I think I might actually stop at this point. But let's just analyze this quickly to finish off with. What went wrong? We've got brought in oxygen. I think I really should have just gone from this direction. This part here would be okay because we're fully insulated along there, right? As far as like, yeah. I think there is this little section to worry about. But I think that might be it for today. That did not go well. Alright, this is Jared playing Oxygen 9 included.